What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Welcome back here today to a possible NBA trade that I think I would become the happiest man in the world if it were to happen. So before we get into the video, I just want to apologize for yesterday's video. Definitely my mindset for the video was just off. I was kind of categorizing the number one overall picks based off like their accolades. Like if I saw they made an all-star game, they were going into there, and a lot of you guys weren't a fan of it. So I took the video down. It was definitely not some of my best work. So I do want to apologize if I felt like I wasted your time in that, and kind of missed the whole concept, because it is a good idea. And shout out to Devin for making that tier list video. But unfortunately, I kind of just missed the park on what I should have done in that, and truly rank them and not just drop them into each bucket, you know. But yeah, I still wanted a video to come out for you guys today, and I have a trade that the Knicks are, like, it's rumored that the Knicks would want to do this, and you know what? I didn't think they were going to go this route, and we're going to go into the fanspo.com trade machine and try to figure something out that could work. But yeah, the Knicks are still exploring. Okay, so this isn't actually the article. The Knicks are, yes, here it is. The Lakers could explore a Julius Randle trade. So Mark Stein, who's a credible NBA analyst, reporter, reported in his Substack, his newsletter, that a Westbrook for Randall swap could be in play if the Knicks were able to trade for Donovan Mitchell. Lakers may do this if they are unable to use Westbrook's $47 million in a trade for Kyrie Irving. So a lot of this kind of depends on it. It was reported here on Real GM as well, saying if the New York Knicks successfully trade for Donovan Mitchell, they could pivot to a trade of Julius Randle to shed future salary. A source told Mark Stern. One team that would consider trading for Randle are the Lakers. Randle, who was drafted by the Lakers, they might get desperate, right? And for the Lakers, they might have a very close or kind of short window. We know they shouldn't give up 27 pick, 29 pick for Kyrie Irving for a possible rental. LeBron's getting up there in age. Who knows how much longer he's left. AD needs to be proven that he can stay healthy, as he's like in the mix of his prime. And Russ is basically a sunk cost at this point. So a Randle for Russ trade would make me so happy as a Knicks fan, because hey, maybe if you do get Donovan Mitchell, the Knicks would buy out Russell Westbrook in this trade. That's also a caveat, so Russ can sign wherever. I wonder where he actually would sign. I could have seen the Clippers, but they got John Wall. I don't even know where Russ would sign. Would it be like Minnesota? Have him come off the bench? I don't know. I feel like it would be a good team. Denver would be kind of cool. And as I try to make into this trade, so I feel like this would have to be done with the Jazz included, right? Like the Knicks wouldn't, I mean, they maybe couldn't get Donovan Mitchell in a separate trade and then contact the Lakers, but we can add a third team in here on Fanspo. I think we can even add 4 teams. Yeah, you can add 4 teams. Like, this website is absolutely goated. So say we send Julius Randle to the Lakers, but the problem is his contract's only at $23 million right now. So the Knicks would have to take on $47 million back, which is tough. They would buy out Russ, like I said, like Minnesota. I even said Denver, but Denver would not make any sense. Just him and Jokic, oh my god, no. I don't know. Like the Pelicans now, because the spacing with Zion wouldn't be good at all. Miami is just a backup point guard. I mean, like, Jimmy could maybe get him into the right mindset. Washington, no. Charlotte, no. Toronto, no. Indiana, no. I mean, Milwaukee, probably. I don't even know if Milwaukee would take him. I don't even think they would, even though he'd be a massive upgrade. Not over Holiday, but, like, as their backup point guard. So, this is what it would have to look like. See, the Lakers, I think, don't have to take on that much money, but the Knicks are taking on... Actually, I think since they moved Randle, they can do a Fournier swap. So say we did Fournier to the Jazz, and then we did... just to see, does this money work? Probably not, right? Like, the Knicks are taking on too much money. I have to cut $25 million from the Knicks. Okay, this is where it gets tough. Because Fournier would have to be in that Jazz trade. The Knicks got to take on Russ. I don't know if they need to find a 4th team that also has cap. Like, do you call up... See, what you might need to do is call up San Antonio. I think they have cap. And send Russ to San Antonio. Okay, but this is really going against, like, the trade. Okay, so let's try this without the Spurs. I feel like Rose, sadly, would have to be in this as well. I think he can go to the Lakers. Like, well, let's just play around with this, right? Like, I don't know if Rose would be in this. I don't think the Knicks would want him to be in it. But, like, say the Knicks did that, and say the Knicks were able to take a 2027 first. Like, they get off one first, they land Rose, they land Randle, and then we send that to the Knicks. Or the Knicks would just end up flipping that to the Jazz, theoretically. And then the Knicks would probably be able to keep... Well, they're keeping Toppin in this deal. They're giving up Grimes, and they're giving up Quickly or Reddish. I would say Quickly just because he's under control. And then we'll do McBride as well. I'm sure, I mean, like, there's a world where Russ could technically get sent to Utah. We will also try that as well. But then say the Knicks to theoretically 5 first-round picks. Let's just see if the money worked here. So the money does work here, and the Lakers would be getting 1 first-round pick from the Lakers, which definitely has some value the way Russ is at and AD in their careers. And then they would get, say, 5 first-round picks from the Knicks. Like, I don't know. Who says no? Let's see. So say the Knicks gave up the Dallas pick to the Jazz. They gave up the Detroit protected pick, the Washington protected pick, and their 2025 top 3 protected first. So that's 4 first to the Jazz. The Jazz land 5 first-round picks. Quickly, Grimes, McBride. They do have to pay Fournier for 2 years. Knicks get Russ and Mitchell. They buy out Russ. Oof, the Knicks are really gutting their team here. Okay, I don't know if the Knicks should do this because they're giving up all those picks, which is fine. They were doing that to Mitchell, but then you're giving up 6 players. 6 players. So I think there's maybe a world like where the Knicks, like you gotta send Russ. So let's reset this straight here, right? Say we send Russ to Utah. Say we send Mitchell to the Knicks, and then we send Randall to the Lakers, and then say they get Bojan in this, or they get Clarkson, or say we get recently traded things going to come in the way. Say Clarkson goes to the Lakers as well. I don't think he has too much value, but the Lakers bring back 2 former Lakers in Clarkson and Randall. They give up maybe your 2027 top 3 protected first, and then the Knicks do that again. So the Knicks would be able to keep Fournier, I believe, in this deal, and Rose, which works out. The Knicks would also include, like I said, Grimes, Quickly, and McBride, and then say theoretically those first round picks once again. They gave up the Dallas one, which they might not even want. Like they might not like I'm sure they value that Wizards pick. Like the Detroit has a ton of protections on it, and then we did a 2020. Yeah, that's top protected first. So like, does this trade look a little bit better overall? It does. And then the Jazz would buy out Russ. The Lakers or the Jazz still get a pretty good return. Oh no, and then also I didn't have the Lakers trading. Where is it? This pick right here to the Jazz. So at least they get to have some protection on it. You can maybe have it be top 3 protected, 27, 28, and 29, something like that. So this is something here. The Knicks are losing 3 wins. I mean, I just think Randall, like, he's a good player in the league, right? Like, he is not one of the worst players in the league, but would you be able to get off his long-term contract? Because now you're paying Mitchell, you're going to pay RJ, you paid Brunson, you paid Mitch Robb. There's not going to be enough ball for everybody or usage. Like Randall, Brunson, Mitchell, or Barrett, if they were all 4 on the team, one of them is probably going to have not a career low in scoring, but a very low amount, like say sub 15. And maybe that's Brunson, and he's okay with that because his assists go up. Can Mitchell still average 25 with Barrett averaging 20 and Randall averaging 20? That could theoretically happen, but are the Knicks going to be one of the best offensive teams under Tibbs' system with Mitchell, who needs the ball, Brunson, who kind of needs the ball, Barrett doesn't need the ball, but Randall needs the ball. So, like, yeah, I don't think that would happen. I think Randall needs to go if Mitchell comes in. Then this allows Obi Toppin to do something. I mean, Mitchell, I think, has been an inconsistent defender. He was good his first 2 years. Like, last year in the playoffs wasn't great. RJ has shown very good signs on defense. We'll see what Brunson can do under Tibbs' system. Obi, not a great defender. Mitch Robb, a solid defender. So this is something theoretically. I just kind of wanted to talk about this trade idea because it made me really happy, and I wanted to talk about it because I just think if the Knicks can get Mitchell and get off of Randall while still giving up just the same package for Mitchell, I would be so happy. And for the Lakers, would you do this? Would you give up that 2027 first? Or would you rather have, say, maybe it's Conley and Randall, right? Maybe the Lakers are like, we're only giving you that first if you give us Conley. I'm sure the Jazz would still do that because, like, we're trading Mitchell, we'd get off him anyway. And then, like, say they're like, we also want to do no Clarkson. Does that work? And then we did Conley. So they at least get a solid point guard. And then say we did a swap in 2024. So say we did that with the Jazz, like one swap. So the Knicks are giving up 5 firsts, one swap, or one pick with the Lakers. You're getting Grimes, Quickly, and McBride. Maybe you ask for Reddish instead of McBride. And then you buy out Russ. I mean, no team's taking on Russ, but this is if the Nets wouldn't do Kyrie. And I think you would have to at least wait till the midseason mark, because if the Nets are a top 3 seed with KD and Kyrie, I doubt they move Kyrie. Even if he leaves in the offseason, they're like, yeah, we might as well try to win now while we still can with Kevin Durant here. Then they'll look to maybe move him next offseason. But yeah, the Lakers clearly get better here. Clearly, and they should definitely capitalize on this if the Knicks are willing to move that first. Now, Randall, Davis, and LeBron, I'm not going to say that's going to work, but hey, talent is talent in their eyes. Randall would be an upgrade. I'm sure you just make LeBron the full-time point guard. Maybe LeBron can not make Randall have to be the point forward. You have Randall and AD in that front court. Not saying it's great, but hey, Lakers fans, is this an upgrade? You get Conley for 2 more years. He's still a solid point guard, probably better than Russ for this system. Let me know what you guys think. Is this me getting way too out of hand as a Knicks fan? But I don't know. I saw Randall for Russ, and I wanted that a couple months ago. Even my take on THT, if you can. I don't know if the Jazz would want THT. Probably. He's got 2 years left. Maybe the Jazz want THT. Can they grab him in this trade? They can. Maybe they want to take THT, give him full run for the season, and maybe salvage him. It's only a 2-year deal. Hey, that's not that bad. It's not like you're trading a lot of this long-term money with Conley and Mitchell gone, Clarkson 2 years, Bojan 1 year. You're going to try to move him at the deadline. Same with Beasley and Beverly. Try to flip them. Could we send Beverly to the Knicks in this situation? Hey! Oh, no, we can't. Okay, never mind. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a like if you did, and I'll catch you on the next one.